Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to HOI IV as we're playing as Germany. So in today's episode we should get the Union of Soviet Republics defeated. We're just got the AI in control. I've already given orders out to all of our units and I have moved some of Guderian's army over to this front so we can get this finished up, because I think we're going to have Guderian, as soon as that Peru continues to ask to join our faction. But I think we're going to have him come over to this front, because we're going to be doing those invasions soon. Perhaps in today's episode. I really wanted to get the Soviet Union finished up before we started these up. So doing a bit more damage to the Royal Navy there. I think it would be best to be able to concentrate our efforts on the Soviets first and then to concentrate on the British. So we did get a new trait for the Naval Aircraft Designer. Could get the increased surface detection. That'd be pretty helpful. Might be the best option available to us actually. Yeah, let's go and get that. And we will want to upgrade that and get the production line upgraded as well. So I hope we can find the enemy fleets a little bit easier. I made it so that our ships can now access this naval zone. And so one way to increase the chances of intercepting the enemy fleet is to allow our submarines to go through this region. So I think that's what we're going to do. Might result in losing more of these, because this is a more difficult region to keep ships alive. But yeah, it would result in the enemy fleet engaging the submarines, and then we'd be able to bomb those. Or that's the idea anyway. We'll see if that's how it ends up working out or not. So remember, we do have that AI in control of all these fronts here outside of the tank units, and it shouldn't take much longer to get them defeated. Again, I think these victory points here should be enough with the ones that we're about to grab. This one's important. About to get that air base there, finishing up this as well. Hopefully that should be enough, but we'll send them this infantry unit too. I don't know if they got anybody else coming, but we're going to want to stop those from coming over here, particularly these guys. I don't know why they're coming from that far. So yeah, that guy's fine. This guy's already got an order, so we want him to complete that. Let's go and get these guys moving as well. They'll push forward into this territory since that unit is taking that location. And hopefully they don't attempt to advance here. There's a lot of units guarding this current port province. So we finally finished the research of the railguns. I don't know if we'll actually be against any of those built in time to use them. They would be potentially useful against the British. I don't know if the range would reach there, but again, we're not likely to get those done unless the invasion of the United Kingdom just takes forever. I suppose they're not called the United Kingdom anymore, but just in case it does take us a while, we should probably get the landing craft. We are very limited on the number of divisions that we can send since we haven't gotten any of those techs. I can only send 10 total. And so many of those invasions that I got set up are only for a few divisions. So really not the best way to do that. This is also not the best way to do this. Did they just capitulate? They did. Alright, so it was actually a little bit quicker than I was expecting, but definitely happy about that. We got some military factories, which we do need to assign those trains, just in case we do end up needing these. So we'll go ahead and put 5 factories into it and just keep them building as well, and then throw this up, I don't know, maybe just above the regular trains. And then we also got some free dockyards. We'll just probably put these all into convoys, because again, I don't really care about getting any additional ships, though maybe we'll need them. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens here with the invasion of the British. Now there might be a few divisions that we need to wipe out here in situations like this. We have units that didn't capitulate, so we'll go ahead and stretch that out, give them a planning bonus, probably take some of the divisions off of this. We'll certainly be moving Rommel out of here, so let's go ahead and delete those orders, and then we'll move them over here. Maybe not into the same provinces, but we want him to be able to hit the ports fairly quickly. Could move him over to here, I suppose. Don't want him to go into that region. It'd probably be this location right here. Not sure what's going on with this particular unit. Let's move over there and see. Oh, he's just got an order already. So let's go ahead and have him join his friends here on the rails. And then we're also going to want to move Gotterdammerung over here, and we'll probably have him move somewhere here in northern France, right here for now. Again, we have a situation where units was already falling in order. So get all the tanks moving on the rails over here for preparation of our invasions. So I got our 3 infantry armies assigned, took a lot of the ones from Albert Kesselring's army. It only left 11 divisions, even that's probably too many for the supply that's here. But moved them over to this area because we still have to knock out Estonia. And I suppose this would also allow us to invade Latvia. So that's their assignment. And then we have the Red Army here. They have moved over to help out in Anatolia, help out the Turks. And Wittelsbach will also be helping them out, except for he's going to go down onto the southern front. So the main reason why we're even using them in these areas where it doesn't really matter is simply because we can't set up any additional invasions of the British because we don't have that tech. I mean, even if we did, 1 army would be enough. And once we get a beachhead, we have the tanks that we're going to use. And so we can't send too many troops into here, or else we'll exhaust all the supply. So we have been embargoed by the United States. So they are very concerned with us now that we have defeated the Soviets. Hopefully they don't declare war on us. We've been embargoed by Burma as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they did declare war because they see us as the main threat now. Because it's really just the British at this point. We lost another one of our submarines here, unfortunately, but we are sinking their convoys. There's a lot of convoys going through here. Most of these are freight convoys. Still bombing the ships in port as well. Yeah, this is really what we're working on now, is trying to get the British fleet destroyed. Not super important. We're losing submarines here very rapidly, as I kind of anticipated would happen. That's why I don't like sending the subs into this area. Let me just take a look, see what's going on in the sky. So they do have fighters and bombers in the English Channel. They do not have any in southern England protecting their buildings and infrastructure here, which we have been doing damage. So you'll notice that we've been doing damage to, different things like the fortifications and the air bases, as that's really going to help us out. Though, when you damage the infrastructure and that kind of stuff, it's actually going to cause you some issues once we do land. So we're just waiting for the tanks to get into the area, because as soon as we get a beachhead, we want to be able to send the tanks into those ports. So we're just going to wait for them to arrive. Hopefully it won't take them too long to get over here using those rails. Speaking of tanks, we just got the new light tanks. At this point, I always feel like it's a waste of time designing the tanks, because you'll never get them out there, not get very many of them out there, and time to actually use them. Let's go ahead and research the paratrooper tech. Won't have that in time for the hair drops, unfortunately, but if we fail here, then we would. I guess we wouldn't have any paratroopers to drop, though, because they would all die. I would assume one of these 3 hair drops, because I'm dropping them in 3 different locations, none of which are ports, because I assume all those are going to be defended. We're going to try and attack the ports from the land location, where the hair drop is set to drop in. We did get the anti-partisan tech, so we're going to get the next one. Get those upgrades. Yeah, we'll have to see how this goes, guys. Yeah, we're continuing to do these bombings, and our tanks are making their way over there. It'll take a while to get all of our units onto these new fronts that we assigned them. We can take a look if we got anybody over here, though. Looks like we do. So we can attempt to attack here. This is going to be a difficult fight. I don't know if we'll be able to succeed. Remember, because of the lakes here, you can only attack these 2 directions. So you might not be able to do anything there, just kind of help defend those locations. But I'm hoping we can get this done. We got 9 units that are all well supplied, while we are not well supplied. We might have to get like a supply hub here. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We weren't embargoed by Cuba. So that's all part of the American faction, all those countries. So yeah, we're going to need to get like a naval base here and here. Since those will give us supply hubs, I should have put those at the top. We want to have any chance of getting that taken. Not that this is important. None of these fronts are actually important. All that matters is the invasion of Britain. And so again, we're just waiting for our tanks to get over there. So this is where Rommel's currently at. And here's Gotterdammerung. So they'll be over there soon. And we're continuing doing these bombings, which are just going to help us gain control of the sea and the skies as well, because, you know, our planes are duking it out with the Royal Air Force. But yeah, we want to see as much damage to these ships as possible. And we got an event here about the Battle of Britain. That's the air war over Britain. So basically, Hermann Göring wants to bomb Big Ben. So this will unlock an air raid, and that'll be on a location where the monument is located here. So you can see that monument and where you can do damage. It does give them a 3% little power gain. But this also gives us a 5% bonus to air mission efficiency for 180 days. So I'm going to say let them try. Now I'm not entirely sure what the success rate would be. We don't even have these strategic bombers to even do it. But we're still getting that nice bonus. So it's not completely useless. We're going to get more armored trains, I suppose. And we do need to get those light tanks designed. I don't know if it matters. This is what we're going to do. Let's see if we're successful on this invasion. Because if we are, then everything we're doing is irrelevant. But if we're not, then it'll probably take like another episode to get the campaign done. Sometimes invading the British can be incredibly challenging. It just depends on like how many units they have defending their territory. But this time we're not relying on naval invasions as we have so often in the past. We do have paratroopers, so we have another route to get a victory. And they can assist each other. We're destroying a lot of their destroyers. None of the bigger ships just yet. But you know, it starts with the escorts. And as they lose the escorts, eventually you'll start to have success and sink the capital ships. Yeah, we're doing a lot of damage now, guys. And again, I think a big part of it is us sending our fleet into this area. So that's been helpful. So we do have our tanks here. So I suppose we're ready to launch our airdrops. We do have air superiority in both these regions, because remember, you do have to have them in both of these in order to be able to land. It might not be full air superiority that's required over the English Channel. It's just a certain percentage that you have to have. But can we do the naval invasions? We cannot. We are not even remotely close, so we would have to assign our fleet into this area. I've been slowly getting all these ships out there as they've been training. So now we have 3 task force of the cruiser submarines. It looks like those are 2 of the ones that we lost, so we're going to send 2 more to get those replaced. But we might have to bring the bigger fleet into the region. This is risky, but we do have control of skies. We have our naval bombers helping us out, and so I'm hoping this will be enough for us to gain control of the sea here, which it seems that would be. We're at 58%, so that should hopefully allow us to do the naval invasions, but those invasions could get engaged, and we have to worry about them attempting to sink our convoys. We could try and send some more naval bombers here. We currently have 497. We have 100 over here, and we have 200 here. I might have more in the stockpile, and we want to destroy more of their fighters as well, which I have some training up over here. So we're going to send 2 more close air support wings. And these ones are actually going to be doing the close air support. And we'll probably switch some of the ones doing the port strike over to close air support as well. Yeah, a lot of these have taken some hefty casualties here, unfortunately. I think we have close air support in the stockpile, but for whatever reason, they're not replacing the losses here, at least not quick enough. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. But we'll leave some of these on port strike, while some of them will be moved over to the close air support to help us out with our invasions. So I think that looks good. 501 on close air support and 220 doing the port strike. And then we do have the additional fighters that I've been training up over here. I think they're trained enough to move into the area. And so we're going to move some into southern England, since it's important that we keep air superiority there. And then the rest, which we can't even fit this many here, would go into this region. So I'll move one of these guys over to Calais here, since we have maxed out the space there. Could also increase the size of that airbase. I don't know if it's going to be necessary. We could also build some more radar here, maybe in this location. And let's get the Normandy airbase increased in size, just in case we end up needing more space. I think these landings should be successful. Hopefully the naval invasions are successful with the support of the paratroopers. We'll just have to see how that goes. We do have a notification here for our experimental facilities. This is the avionics facility. So we'll see which event this is. It gained some progress. All right, excellent. Before we launch our attack, there are two things we need to do. First of all, we can get a new land doctrine. So we're going to be going down the modern Blitzkrieg routes. So fire brigades is going to give us organization for our tanks and our infantry units. So get that unlocked, and then we'll also spend this political power to further improve our paratroopers. So I'm looking for paratroopers that haven't gotten the increased organization just yet. That's going to be the cheapest thing for us to get. And I just want to make sure that they all at least have that. And that's all the political power that we have. Alright, so let me just give this a couple days. I moved a few more planes over here. So I want to make sure those get into the region. Seems I had forgotten some that were still in Russia. We sunk a light cruiser. Well, that's the largest ship that we sunk thus far. We're losing a ton of planes in the air here, unfortunately. Let's go and dip around and take a look at all of these different locations where we've had some success with our raiding. And then, yeah, I think we'll do the invasions, though maybe we should give some orders over here. So we don't really want to get attached to that. Let me just take a look. Yeah, we need to wait until they finish up their attack. Is that we have troops in all these regions now. I'll go and attack down this way. And probably want to get around these guys. We need to first take this location. So let's send some of the troops over here. In fact, let's have another mountain unit come over here, because this is in the mountains. So it makes sense to have them go into that province. I sent a few planes into these regions just to give them a little bit of support, and we have a lot of air support over here. There's one last thing we need to do before we launch these, and that is to activate our decryption bonus. So this would be pretty helpful for the reduction of the invasion penalty, but then you're also going to get the increased breakthrough. So that'll be nice. So let's go ahead and utilize that. We'll have that bonus for 35 days. Hopefully we're not wasting it here, and that these will actually be successful. So we're going to launch the airdrops first, although you know what, actually let's launch the invasions first, since it's going to take them a little while to get over there, and then we'll do the airdrops once these guys get a little bit closer. So I think that's close enough. Let's go ahead and now send the airdrops. And it looks like we were successful on this one. Nobody was defending this location. These guys are about to leave, and we are sending an invasion there. So we should just let them leave. And then we want to take this location as well. So let's send two of the paratrooper units over there. And it seems that we lost a lot of strength on those airdrops. That's interesting. Was it just the anti-air? Had to be, because they certainly didn't have any fighters over here. So yeah, we took a lot of damage. That's unfortunate. So a lot of lost men. I guess that will increase our war participation. Alright, so we have one here. We're going to need to send a unit into each of these locations. All these two will go over here. Alright, so now that our naval invasion is here, we want to go ahead and attack that location. I was hoping that unit would be able to leave there, but that's not how it went down. So we just need to get a port. As of right now, we don't have one. We should probably just let these units here leave. So I'm just going to attack these locations. I suppose we'll also take that airbase. That would be helpful. Captured a Swiss operative. So I did see that we had a prototype decision for the fleet submarine, where we have to make a choice here. Design principles. We have to know on what we need to focus our efforts when designing our new type of long-range submarines. Should our submarines be silent and deadly hunters, or do we want them to be more reliant and resilient to dangers? So this is going to increase their max speed and torpedo attack while reducing the sub's visibility, or we can go with the sturdier structure which increase the reliability in HP and reduce the weather penalty. I feel like this is really the better option. So we're going to go with the attack capability. Didn't even have to waffle on that decision, no? Pretty clear that I think that was, at least for us, the better choice. So we still don't have a port yet. So we can't send the tanks forward. We could potentially win there. That unit's really weak. Let's go and attack that location. We did land here. Alright, excellent. So we do now have a port. So that means... we got one over here as well. So that means it's only a matter of time now, guys. Because we'll be able to send the tanks in. And what we want to do is let's go ahead and delete this. Send all 4 of the infantry divisions. Then we need to be cautious about sending the tanks over here. What we don't want to do is lose any to the enemy fleet. So we're going to send just 1 medium tank and 1 light tank for now. We won't even create the front, because if we did that, then we already know what's going to happen. It's going to result in the entire army attempting to go over there. So we don't want that to happen either. Alright, so we actually have some hordes now. We need to create a front here. And then we're just going to try and get up around these troops. So this is a naval invasion that is now getting assistance. Let's go and lock those troops down there. Just make sure that we're constantly pushing forward with our troops. Now that we have this horde, we should also send some of Rommel's tanks. So we'll send, again, just 1 medium and 1 light tank. I think is the way to go here. Until they get safely across. We did sink another destroyer there. Yeah, they have a lot of ships over here. Now, we do have our own ships. They have troop convoys in the area as well. That's interesting. Yeah, we do have our own ships here to help protect our convoys, but it's certainly risky. Alright, so now these guys have left. We'll go and attack over that way. Yeah, thus far, this is going incredibly smooth. These guys are going to ram all this up. Also, one thing I noticed is that they have very low stability. War support's decent, but the stability is pretty low. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me just take a look here. Yeah, they're already 12% towards capitulation. Look at these losses. 8.04 million. Our side has only lost 1.87 million. Specifically for us, it's 326,000, 98.1 thousand by the Soviets, but we killed 1.7 million of theirs. Yeah, very good kill death ratio thus far. Alright, let's go and advance into these 2 locations here. And do we get the tanks here? Not quite yet. They have almost arrived. What we could do is send these guys into that location. Not as worried about the infantry getting engaged out in the sea. It's really the tanks that I don't want to have too many of those engaged. Not just because we don't want to lose the expensive unit that the tanks are. You know, they're very expensive equipment-wise. I guess we're going to have to attack over here. But also, because we need them over here to be able to advance the front quickly. Now, I suppose the infantry are doing pretty good thus far. So we need to grab that location, so we should lock down these troops now. That might actually be in a victory too quickly. Maybe not. Yeah, it looks like they got there just fine. So now we can get those guys destroyed. We should be able to win here. Yep, excellent. So we took that location. The tanks have arrived. They don't have any organization just yet. We're going to send them over to here. And then send a few more tanks. So we'll get 3 light tanks, bring them on over here. Sunk another one of those destroyers. And still waiting on these tanks to get into their port. Alright, so he's advancing up over this way, moving very rapidly. We'll let this guy leave here. Yeah, 2 hours he'll go over there and then we can just cut him off. And then I suppose we'd want to destroy him. I don't know if we'll have enough organization to get that done though. Alright, so I made some adjustments with the fronts just to make them a little bit more clear. Now we are going to dip over to this area. Well, it's not important. One thing we need to start considering at this point, let me just reduce this front here, is our war participation. So we're going to go and attack over here and over here. Yeah, we need to get more war participation. And so we're gonna try. I'm gonna wait for that battle to finish up. So yeah, we're going to try and get more war participation if we can. So that's our first capital ship that we sunk. A heavy cruiser. We sunk 32 destroyers, wow, and a light cruiser. So there's a battleship. Right, excellent. So now that we basically control the English Channel, we're sinking a lot more of their ships. Alright, so these guys are going to advance. Let me just make sure they're on this front. So I did all this work fixing these fronts, and they're all messed up. And these guys, well, they're winning, so I guess we'll let them continue that. So we need to get these units here destroyed. Let's go and attack over there. And we finished up our national focus. Alright, excellent. So we got this for those bonuses to strategic bombing, which apparently we're not going to need anymore. So we just want to get passive bonuses. I highly doubt that any of these are going to apply, because yeah, we basically have finished up the campaign. So we'll get that. I expect, well, maybe a week to get the British defeated. This trait doesn't matter at all, since we're not even using it. But we're going to get it applied. We also have a decision available. That's right, we have the campaign instructions, which you can only take those once we're a neighbor with the country. So that'll give us some additional bonuses to try and get this done a little bit faster. Let's go and attack right here and over here. So I actually wanted the tanks to go. Let me actually redirect these. We'll stop the light tanks because I want them to go up here so we can take advantage of their speed. We'll use the medium tanks here though. And because we took control of their facility, we stole their advancements in the helicopter. Got 11.6%. So I don't think this unit will be able to win here to that really low organization. So they're attempting to break out here. We can't allow that to happen. Got more troops coming now, and we got these tanks. Let's go ahead and have them move up to the north as well. Let's get them moving over there. And I think it's safe to probably move all these troops that aren't these two. I'll send the rest of these tanks over there. And we should take a look at the situation in the skies, because we could move these planes a little bit closer. We have control of some of the air bases here. So we'll have the situation in the air look something like this. Just make sure we're getting some air bonuses here. And with these guys now arrived, this is what we'll do. Have this guy come over here, and we might just send him up north. Make sure he's advancing the front. So now I'm just waiting for the tanks to get over to this front, so it can help us push forward north. And then let's go and attack over here. Yeah, we'll let that tank continue on its way. We just got these tanks. Let's send them over here. And we'll also grab this location. So still sinking the convoys. A lot of those are troop convoys. So I'm gonna get these tanks pushing forward. We'll grab this air base. Seems like he's assigned to a different front, so we want to go ahead and fix that. We'll let this unit here leave, and then get behind him. And let's send the tanks up towards these victory points. Have them move nice and rapid. We'll let these guys go here so that we can get them cut off. And let's go and attack this location. And you have to send all of our troops onto the attack. Into London and the surrounding provinces here. I know that this is across a river, and unfortunately Rommel just got injured. But yeah, we're just going to take those penalties. It's fine. Alright, so let's go and advance up this way. Got the improved anti-tank upgrades. Nothing we do really matters. The war is just about over, so we'll just get this. Probably what we would have gotten anyways. We're not going to assign factories and that kind of stuff, because again, it's basically irrelevant. We need to get this unit here destroyed. I'll have to wait till we get some additional units over there. And they are sending troops into their ports here. So maybe they sent those from elsewhere. You know, they saw themselves under invasion and sent troops from all the different territories they were fighting in to try and save their homelands, but clearly that did not work out. Let's go and actually get a front set up here now, so all the Green Army can come help us out over there, and we'll probably keep like the rest of these guys down here just until we get this done. So invading London with a ton of tanks, and then let's go and just attack here now. Alright, so now we'll be advancing into Scotland. Got the tanks going in the mountains, obviously not the best way to do that. They'll be capitulating very soon here, guys. Shouldn't take much longer because we did get London. So what we might want to do is take a look at the casualties now, because once they capitulate, then we won't be able to look at those. So we have 332,000 casualties total. Our war participation has gone up to 68% due to all these victory points that we've taken from the British. They have taken 1.05 million casualties, and almost all of those, 929,000, were done by us. We've already looked at the casualties of the Soviets, 1.7 million. Yeah, very significant. 617,000 to the Italians. But yeah, the kill-death ratio is absolutely fantastic. And we'll be winning this campaign in September 1941, guys. That's crazy. Let's keep one unit here. I'm just having support. But very early. I don't know, is that like the earliest we've ever won? Maybe not. Yeah, we're not going to win here. London has fallen, which we've already seen. I don't think we can win this battle either. I can't even seem to do the attack here. Oh, maybe. We'll keep it going, see if we can get a victory there. Again, they'll be capitulating here in moments, so might not be able to get anything else, but we're just trying to get our war participation up here. Oh, that's already under our control. And then yeah, we want to destroy these units here. We'll also support with these guys. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Just making sure that we're helping out here. Going to do that attack. And then these guys, we'd want to have like 2 of them advance down. Ah, damn. Advance down to here. So that got messed up. Now we got to start our progress again. Lots of convoy raiding and ship destruction throughout the channel. Didn't see anything big destroyed there. Well, there we go. 3 battleships, including the Pride of the Fleet, heavy cruisers, 7 light cruisers, 2 convoys. So just completely wiped out the British fleet. I mean, I say completely wiped. I'm sure they still have a lot of ships left. Well, it looks like the unit that was here has left. Alright, let's advance up this way. And we'll attack that unit as well. And then with... I don't think we should send any other tanks up here, honestly. I think just taking a few more victory points will be enough to force their capitulation, and then we'll do the peace treaty, and that means this will be the finale episode, guys. Just get troops up over here, and there we go. That's the peace conference. So they capitulated, got their stockpile. The British were much easier than I was expecting. Our invasions were successful, our paradrops were successful. I don't even think we needed the paratroopers. I think the invasions could have done it themselves. And same thing with the invasions, we didn't really need those. The paradrops, I think, would have been enough. And those combined with the vast amount of aircraft that we had over Britain ensured a fairly easy success. So now there's the question of what to do with that success. So I think the Belgians should get the Netherlands. That makes sense, so we'll allow them to take that. They have control of it already, so that should be a bit cheaper for them, particularly if they have any claims here. Of course, nothing that we do in this peace treaty actually matters since the campaign is over, but you know, you fought this war to get to this moment, and so it makes sense to play it out. And I think what we're going to do is create like an old, I don't know, kind of Frankish style empire. You know, the Franks before they were the French, like the Franks as in the German tribe, which eventually came to dominate all France, Germany, and northern Italy, you know, creating the, you know, over time, the Holy Roman Empire, you know, Charlemagne's empire, something like that, you know, directly under our control. So I'm thinking like, obviously we wouldn't have control of Low Countries, but we would annex all France and northern Italy, maybe all of Italy. I don't know. We'll see if we have the points for that. And then with the British, maybe just create a subject. That way they'll keep whatever ships they have. Makes sense to maybe do that. And same thing over here in the Far East, is just create subjects. Remember, we only have 68% of the war participation, so our allies will be doing stuff as well. So we'll just have to see what all they end up doing. But let's prioritize France and Northern Italy. We should be able to do a lot before anybody else gets the act, because we got just so many points. Could have just took all France, I guess, through here. We're going to do it a little bit at a time, see what we're able to get. Like maybe leave this state for now, because I think we'd like to prioritize Italy. I think we will be able to get. Yeah, we should be able to get all of Northern Italy and all of France. Maybe go all the way down to Rome. That makes sense for sure. And you know, the Holy Roman Emperors always wanted control of all of Italy, and it looks like we just achieved that. We're going to take Corsica and Sardinia as well. Get these last two states in France. And we still have a lot of points remaining. So now let's create a puppet in Britain. So we're going to annex all this for them. I say annex it, but take it for the British. And again, we should be able to get all of their territory. So we'll have a British subject. I suppose we'll subjugate Spain first. And I'm not taking the option to select all states, because some of their territory is not really a priority. I don't know how many points we'll have. And so like their territory in Africa, it's not a priority. I guess maybe this one here, that would make sense to get. And then we'd also want to subjugate Portugal. We are starting to run a bit low on points now. And we still have a lot. Should have enough to deal with the Russians. So we'll want to start with Moscow. That makes sense. And then come up here to the north. Though I almost want to let Finland take this territory over here. Makes a lot of sense to allow them to have that. So maybe only up here to Novgorod. Let's see if there's anything else we want to do before I utilize all of our points. Again, not too concerned about Africa. I think we'll allow the Turks to take whatever they want here. I think that makes sense since they were an ally for a long time. So yeah, we'll just concern ourselves with all this territory here. Getting control of this. You know, we could also release some subject states, like break the Soviets up some. I'm calling them Soviets, obviously we called something else. Like Belarus would make sense to give all their territory to them. So yeah, let's go and start working on releasing subjects. This, for right now, is the core of Russia, kind of like Muscovy, Novgorod area here. So with this, we're satelliting both Belarus and Ukraine, and we don't have enough points for this. So what I think we might do is give up Portugal for now. I don't know if that'll be enough. Looks like it's just barely enough. I suppose with our remaining points, we'll just add that to Russia. Alright, so let's go and submit our demands. Alright, so let's take a look and see what everybody's doing. So Japan is taking over territory from Portugal. I'm guessing that's territory in Asia, though maybe not, because they are taking territory from the Greeks. Okay, so they're actually giving territory to allies. So they gave Thrace to Bulgaria, the Aegean Islands to Turkey. Okay, so that's interesting. And then they're also taking territory for China, which remember is their subject. So just going through here and seeing what all they're doing. Alright, they're also taking France's territory. Unfortunately, it seems that Japan has given all this territory to the Hungarians, which I really didn't want to do. Remember, they have those claims on this area, but since they didn't get Ukraine, they also don't have this. It's just kind of a weird situation, and I prefer that the Hungarians get this territory instead. And so we're going to have to contend with them for that. But yeah, we're just going to go through here, since we have so many points, and just satellite all these different states as we break up the Soviet Union into many different parts. So we got Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, We'll do Armenia. So remember, any of the territory here in the Caucasus, we will have to challenge the Japanese for that. All right, so I got these regions sorted out. So we're gonna be satelliting all these different states here, as well as in the, with the stands. We already had Kazakhstan. I got Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. So we got all those satellited, and yeah, the Japanese are just causing all kinds of issues. Also satellited all this territory here, guys. So the Japanese are creating all kinds of issues because they're trying to give this territory to the Hungarians since they have claims on all of it. And so what we're going to do to try and fix the problem is just give it to Japan. So we'll give all this to them. I guess I can have this one as well. So grant this to the Japanese. And they already took control of all this anyway, so I'm not entirely sure why they want to give it to the Hungarians so badly. I guess just because they have claims on it. So I think that would be the situation over here. Probably have Japan take all this as well. I'm assuming they'll do it for themselves. So we need to start working on giving more territory to the Russians. So we want to, how about all this? Or give it to Finland. I think we can do that first. So we want to give White Finland Leningrad. Of course, that'll be renamed, I believe, once they take it. And we're also going to give them some of this territory over here. Remember, they were not a subject state that we conquered. They were just an ally throughout the entire conflict. Can't really make this look good when it comes to the map. I guess you'd have it look like this because I released all these. And then this would go to Russia. Now, we could also give some territory to Sweden since they are subject. Kind of rebuild the Swedish Empire, maybe even give them some of this. It would look a little weird though. We have to give Lithuania to Poland. Kind of a Poland-Lithuania Commonwealth situation again. So probably give that to them. Maybe give this to Sweden just to give them something. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So take this territory for Sweden. And then this territory will go to Holland. And then we can give this to the Belgians since they won't be able to do anything themselves. So we'll go ahead and do that now. But we've got to deal with the situation over here in Russia, since the Japanese are going to continue to cause us issues here. So we need to puppet all this for the Russians, just to stop the Japanese from giving it to the Hungarians. And this will just all go to Russia, I suppose. We'll take these ones here. And I'm hoping we have enough points to get this done, so we don't have to worry about Japan giving any more territory to the Hungarians. Now, there is this territory here. I actually wanted to give that to Ukraine. I'm not entirely sure how to go about doing that, though, since they don't have a core on it. I suppose we'll just release Crimea, since we can't give that to Ukraine. And yeah, continue to give this all to Russia. So any territory that we haven't given to other countries or released as a subject state, because there aren't any cores there. I guess there's one there, but that'd create a weird situation here. So we'll just give this to the Russians. So yeah, they'll take all this over here. Because we don't want the map to look too bad because it's broken up into a bunch of different states. I guess it's going to look kind of weird over here. I suppose we'll subjugate them. That'll clear up that issue so it doesn't look as weird. Alright, so I suppose that will be good for now. So I believe that's everything with the Soviet territory outside of these couple little areas here, which might let Japan manage that for now because we still haven't satellited Portugal yet. So let's go and take care of that. We are starting to run a bit low on points. And I think we're going to annex many of the Mediterranean islands. Maybe all of them. Yeah, all the ones that we can. And then we also need to give some territory to the Hungarians since they're not getting anything in the east. I'm sure they won't be happy about that. Maybe we'll give them control of a lot of Yugoslavia. It'd certainly make the map look better since they already have control of Croatia. Not sure if we should give them that one or not. Because I'm thinking about giving all this to Bulgaria. Maybe even part of Greece, if not all of Greece. This would be one hell of a greater Bulgaria. Yeah, you know what? Let's go and give them all this. So the Bulgarians are going to take all this, or whatever we can, because we are running a little bit low on points now. Suppose we can only afford that one right there. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Turkey still needs to get their territory, but let's go and submit our demands. You know that we're going to have to fight for a lot of this stuff, but we have so much more points that they shouldn't be able to stop us from doing whatever it is we want to. So you can see the situation here. It has been all broken up. This here, I think, is still being contested. So this should all be going to Japan. Alright, so do we want to give the rest of Greece to Bulgaria? Why not? Yeah, I say why not. Let's give them all of Greece here. And then we still need to deal with these two little territories here, which I think both of those will go to the Hungarians. We could take this one for ourselves, I suppose. Not sure which one looks better. I guess we'll take it for ourselves. So I'll go and annex that, and then we'll want to annex that little bit of territory for Greater Hungary. Alright, so I think we're good in the Balkans. And we just need to give this territory to Turkey now, or the Turkish Empire. So I'm going to annex all this. I think the Japanese have been doing a lot of this for them thus far. Next we need to give territory to Ethiopia. They were a long-time ally of ours. So we'll give them any territory we can, really. I almost want to have them go all the way up to Egypt here. Yeah, I think we will. Just give them all this. So this is all going to be Ethiopia now. Could also give them this, but we need to give South Africa some territory. I kind of just want to split Africa between Ethiopia and South Africa. Now let's go and take the territory for South Africa first. What we can, because not all the countries were involved here. And we kind of weird if South Africa is more than just the South. So maybe just give them, again, up to a point. Like right up here with the border with Ethiopia. So I guess they are more than just the South. And then I think we'd give the rest of that to Ethiopia. So they're kind of like an African empire stretching across all Central Africa, east and west. So we'll just take all this for them. I could release them as separate states, but yeah, we're just going to give it to them. And we even give them this here, and I almost want to give them, yeah, all of Africa. Why not? Ethiopia held out for a long time. This is going to be a massive Ethiopia. They really need a different name, though. Doesn't make a lot of sense to call them Ethiopia anymore when they dominate the majority of Africa now. So we just split that between South Africa and Ethiopia, and I guess we can give Madagascar to South Africa. Just give them a bit more. And I suppose this one should go to Ethiopia. So again, just splitting it between our two African allies here. There's also St. Helena. So grant that to South Africa. And we'll give them these little islands as well. And then I don't care what Japan does. I mean, this really seems like their sphere of influence. We still have a lot of points, though. So we could grant that to Japan. I don't think there's anything I missed in Europe or Africa. So I believe we're moving over to Asia now to kind of help them finish this area up. So yeah, let's go ahead and start conquering it for the Japanese. I mean, maybe they want to subjugate them. I don't know. I think it makes sense for them to just annex all this. Of course, if we were to keep playing, we'd want to get some of this for ourselves so that we'd have access to some rubber. But I suppose you could just trade with the Japanese for all this rubber. I don't know if they want Australia, but we're going to give it to them. They're just going to annex all this territory, although we don't have a lot of points. So we might need to focus a little bit more. Just take these islands and then see what they want to do with Australia. Because yeah, we don't have a lot of points left. So I might just end my turn here and then let them get a chance. There is this territory here. I suppose we'll just give that to Turkey. They're the closest of our allies here. So I'll give that to them. Give them a bit more. Alright, so let's let the Japanese take a turn. And we'll have to fight them on a lot of these. And probably some of this is just us giving them territory and they're fighting us on it. We still have a lot of points though. So let's go ahead and take over. Let me see what they're doing. Because if they're subjugating them, yeah, they're turning them into a puppet state. I suppose the last things we're going to be doing is, you know, again, like in preparation for an invasion of the United States, as if we were to continue the campaign, you would want control of some launch points to be able to invade the US. So we'll want to take control of all of this territory here. And we even take this, we kind of become a little bit of a naval power. And this would give you an area to like launch actual invasions from. Should probably take all this over here so that you can invade the US. Yeah, we'll just take over, like annex all of Canada. This is now going to all be part of Germany. Of course, could turn them into a subject instead. I think this is what Canada gets to keep. I believe that Japan already turned them into a subject, so we don't want 2 Canadian subjects. So we're just going to submit our demands here. And then let the Japanese do whatever they want. And we'll just fight them on the stuff that we care about. There may be some stuff I'm missing, but again, it's not really all that important. It's taking them a long time, I think, because they keep fighting us and all this stuff. So they're spending a lot of points. Alright, so I passed a bunch of times. You know, we got all the stuff we wanted, which they did fight me on some things. There's one state in Africa they wanted really bad. So they did fight me for a long time on some stuff, and I think they don't have any points because they're not finishing up with Canada or with Australia. So I think what we'll have to do is just take it for Japan, like annex it. Because I don't know that I can take it for their subject. Yeah, that's going to cost us too many points. So we won't even be able to do that. Okay, so that's kind of weird. I don't know if they'll get a chance to mess with it at all after I, give up on the peace treaty. We might be able to deal with this, though. And we'll just annex it for ourselves. We want to submit our demands there, which, again, they're going to fight us on this. Alright, so that's now all ours. And then, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Australia. Because I don't think they have any points to mess with it at all. And I don't want to create 2 separate Australias. That'd be kind of weird. I'm just going to probably end the conference and we'll see what happens. And hopefully they got to deal with that and add all that territory to their subjects. Now, obviously, this is going to be a long pause since we basically changed the entire map. We fought a lot of countries. And unfortunately, it did create a weird situation. So you have the Australia People's Republic here and Japanese Australia. So if we were to continue playing, we just have the Japanese Australia annex the other Australia. That's a really nice color for Papua. Go through all these here. You can see the last of our naval victories. Sinking convoys. Also sunk 6 light cruisers, 4 destroyers, lost some submarines and some planes. See if there's anything else for us to look at. Just more convoy battles throughout here. And also these battles here. Alright, so this is the Great German Reich. We'd have to conquer Switzerland. Can't leave this little bit of territory right in the middle of our empire. So we would conquer them. You see German Spain here. Nice color, really fits with ours. Got German Portugal. Got Greater Hungary, and they're really looking greater now. They got a lot more territory. Might give this to them if we're to continue playing, just to make the map look better. Obviously, it doesn't matter right now. It is important for the oil, though. We have 163 oil there. Bulgaria, looking much mightier. Turkey has annexed all this territory, so not quite on the same level as the Ottoman Empire. Oh, this went to the Hungarians. Okay, so that's weird. Well, that should have went to the Turks. That would look a lot better. So I went ahead and fixed that. Gave it to Turkey because it really should be theirs. That's kind of weird how the Hungarians got that. I wouldn't be surprised if Japan gave it to them. For some reason, the Japanese really wanted to give territory to the Hungarians. I realized that the reason why they wanted to give all this to them was because they had claims on it. But why? Why did they give them that one province? This is looking very colorful over here with all these different independent states. And I don't like the way this little snaky Russia is. Yeah, I didn't really like the situation here, but there wasn't any countries that we could grant this to. I suppose we could have gave it to some of these states here. This is Japan. Obviously looking very powerful. Dominating Asia. There's still some countries in Asia not completely in their sphere of influence, so I assumed they would be conquering that way, while we just needed to deal with Switzerland, because all of Europe is under our control. Turkey would probably want to attack Egypt, or perhaps Ethiopia would, because I think that would actually look better if the Ethiopians got control of that. Look at how powerful and massive Ethiopia is now. Very significant. South Africa would want to finish up all these states on their border, get all this conquered. I assume this is their sphere of influence, this line here and everything south of it. And then you have the United States, which is really our only rival here with the North American Entente. They have a few small countries in their faction, and we'd invade them from Canada, since we now control that directly. Yeah, it was a fun campaign overall. Ended it very early as far as the timeline here goes, the date. So this might be the earliest that we've ever finished a campaign, though it was still 21 videos. But overall, I had a good time with it, experiencing this new expansion. I think it was a fun campaign, though we did, have a lot of ease with it. It wasn't too difficult. As usual, we just kind of ran right through them. They did give us a little bit of challenge here and there, but overall, it wasn't too difficult. The Civil War certainly disrupted some issues, but they had a lot of great powers on their side. They had France, they had Britain, Italy, and the Soviets, and then they had a bunch of smaller countries in Spain, Portugal, Greece, a ton of smaller countries to help them out. So I was a little surprised that they weren't a bit more of a challenge. Look at how large Finland is, guys. Finland controls a bunch more territory. Some states I didn't really look at. Little old England here, just a German protectorate. I hope you guys did enjoy this series as much as I did. If you did, make sure you leave a like on video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. If you're looking for anything to watch, check out the front page of our channel. Got a ton of videos all sorted by genre. If you're looking for any links, you'll find them down in the description of any of our videos. Links to our PayPal, Patreon, and Teespring store if you'd like to help support the channel. You also find a link to our Discord if you'd like to join our community. And finally, you'll find links to all of our social media if you'd like to follow us on those. As for what I'm going to be covering next on the channel, I'm actually going to be taking a vacation for 2 weeks. So we always try and take 2 vacations per year. One in January, in this case it's going to be in February, and then one in the summer. So I'm really glad that we're able to get this campaign finished up because the vacation is starting on Saturday. Now if I have time, I'm going to try and return to that one CK3 series, do, I don't know, whatever I can do, 1 or 2 more videos since we didn't really fully finish that campaign. And then I'll be on vacation till February 14th. So it's going to be a while, guys. So that's when content will return sometime around then. Obviously I got to come back and record something and get it out. But yeah, I hope you guys do have a good early February. I do hope to see you guys on another video, and thanks for watching.